not one, not two, not three, but 4 fights were on the practice field at Falcons and Titans joint practices. Welcome to Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And yeah, Easton Freeze, he tweeted this out early in the morning while practice was going on. Big fight on the Falcons offense, Titans defense field. Took a couple minutes to separate everybody. Michael Penix Jr. got involved in it less than an hour into practice, and the energy was noticing higher today than yesterday. It's edgy and urgent. We knew that the Titans weren't happy about that. And then Easton Freeze later, another one. Every other tackle of the Titans D and Falcons offense threatens to turn into a brawl. Very chippy today. And then about 8 minutes later, another fight. There was 4 of them. This time on punt return drills, Alec Manor gets shoved down. Ben Jefferson pushing and shoving hard. The benches briefly clear. This was an intense practice. And yesterday, we all know all about it. It was a terrible practice. Cam Ward didn't look good. The defense didn't look good. Overall, it was probably the worst practice of the offseason. They came back a lot better today. But on today's show, we're going to get our takeaways from the joint practices, just what exactly happened during those fights, an injury update, and then the offense and defensive takeaways. Cam Ward looking a lot better going from yesterday to today. But later after joint practice, we saw the Titans make a surprising move, a very, very surprising move. The producer, read that tweet is the one at the top. Yep. It was from Teron Davenport, which it actually shocked me. Surprising move. The Titans waived inside linebacker Otis Reese IV and signed Brian Asamoah II. Reese was a DNP against the Bucs last week, and we also saw Otis Reese. He was getting burnt in joint practice, or not joint practice, but getting burned earlier in the week. And it was a battle between him and James Williams for that second linebacker spot, and I think this solidifies it, that James Williams is going to be your second linebacker next to Cody Barton. Now, before we get into what happened during this fight, we got a little fight between us and Falcons today because the new host, Trace Moustakis, said that we couldn't get 200 likes on today's video. And I said, that is a bunch of BS. 100%. I know the Titans fans are going to show out. So show out like the Titans did today on the practice field. Hit that thumbs up icon. And let's prove Falcons today completely wrong. So let's start off. Where did it get started? What was happening that just caused this fight to start? Well, Calvin Ridley was cooking AJ Terrell. And if you watched the video I put out yesterday, yeah, he was cooking. He actually was burning him. 3 out of 4 catches for Calvin Ridley. AJ Terrell wasn't doing that well. After that, he caught a long touchdown, and then he celebrated in the space. Spiked the ball, pointed at him, and that's when it started to get a little chippy. No one liked it, and it started on offense, defense, and like I said earlier, Michael Penix Jr. got involved with the offense, and the Titans later said he started it. So it was getting really chippy out there, but that's what you want to see out of your team. I'm all for celebrating and talking your talk, but 4 fights, maybe 1 or 2, but 4 over and over and over, it's a bit excessive in my opinion. Like, you're here to play football. You're not here to fight. The coaches, they need to get their team composed, but you saw it yesterday. The energy had to be up, and the energy was up with this Titans team. Jeffrey Simmons said, we started slow. We started slow against the Bucs. We started slow against the Falcons. We have to be better. And then you saw it from Roger McCreary, who said, well, practice was all right. It's all right. And then he went, it's BS. So they were mad. They came back today. They looked a lot better than they did yesterday. And they tried to say, we're going to show the Falcons what we're made of. I didn't think that was for fighting, but it is what it is. I love the energy. I love how serious they're taking this season. Now, coming up, we got the injury update. A couple players were getting some rest. A couple players didn't show up, and we're still waiting on L'Jarius Sneed to hit the practice field. Hopefully he hits the practice field, but we'll see that coming up later in the season. I think he's going to be ready week 1. I'm not 100% sure he's still on the PUP list. But before we get into that, I got a deal for you guys. This Titans hoodie, this cutoff hoodie is 40% off. Go right now. Chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. If you want to be in Nashville on Broadway, when it's a little bit still hot, but it's starting to get into football weather. It's starting to get a little chilly, but you can wear a cutoff hoodie because the sleeves, that's what the stylish is. I love the colors. I love this. You can get yours today while supplies last, because I can tell you right now, it's not going to be on sale forever once football starts. Chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. There were 5 players who did not practice today. A couple players getting some rest and a couple players dealing with a couple injuries. Overall, I mean, isn't that what you want to see? There's a few teams out there that it feels like half their team is getting hurt. The Dolphins had a massive scare with Chop Robinson. We haven't gotten a scare with the Titans, and knock on wood, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Here's the guys that didn't practice today. Matt Landers, Jalen Harrell, Sebastian Joseph-Day got a day of rest. They called it soreness. I think that Brian Callahan just didn't really want to get him too involved with the joint practice, because you're probably might see him on the field on Friday for the game. Kevin Winston Jr., and then L'Jarius Sneed, who is still on the PUP list after getting his knee kind of scoped throughout the offseason, getting that worked on. But I'm still waiting for him to get healthy, man. And I think me and everybody else on this Titans fan base and even the coaches are just worried, is this guy ever going to play down for the Tennessee Titans? I don't know. Well, he played a couple games last year, but is he going to play another one? Because he keeps talking how he's healthy and this and that and this, but I haven't seen you on the field. When are you going to just put on the pads and say, I am ready to play? Because you gave him a ton of money, and you're still not getting the production out of that money. Now, some good news, and it involves the defensive backs. Teron Davenport tweeting out that Kevin Winston Jr. will possibly be back next week, according to Brian Callahan. Winston has done some work here with the team trainers. And we know him from Penn State, coming off a knee surgery. He's a rookie. You don't want to force him back and have him re-injure anything, so they're just taking it slow, but they know that he's going to be healthy, and we'll probably see him a little bit in the third preseason game, and for sure week 1 of the regular season. Couple days away from the second preseason game. It's a Friday night instead of a Saturday night, so you get the Titans the day early. If you're ready, if you're excited for Titans-Falcons this Friday to see Cam Ward and Calvin Ridley be on the field having a great connection, we'll probably see two drives of those two. Type me. Spam your me's down in the comments section. Going some other takeaways. You saw it earlier. That's what started the fight. Calvin Ridley was cooking. He cooked AJ Terrell. It feels like he is just at his peak right now. He is in the best shape of his life. It's the most serious he's taken football probably since his rookie year before he took a couple seasons off. And this coming from Teron Davenport, this is what started it. He found Calvin Ridley deep for a touchdown. He spiked the ball and pointed to the crowd. He was celebrating. He was hype. And this connection between Ward and Ridley is very, very, very deep. Like, man, it's going to be exciting to see. And I said this on the last video, and I'll say it again. I think Calvin Ridley could go for 1,200 yards. I mean, he went for 64 catches and 1,000 yards with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph as his quarterback. Now that Cam Ward is going to be his quarterback, you know he's looking for him every single play. But outside of that, it's looking a little rough. I mean, the wide receivers, it felt like that they weren't on a specific connection. And then Cam Ward just trying to do too much. Tried to throw the ball away on third down in the face of pressure. Didn't get it all the way out of bounds. And D. Alford just completely picked it off. And it just gave me flashbacks of what I saw last year of this. And I don't want the Will Levis vibes. And I was getting a little bit of Will Levis vibes. He did connect with Chigakonkwo for a touchdown, but I'm just messing with you guys. This man is completely different than what we saw a year ago with Will Levis. This is a picture from yesterday's practice on how much it was a terrible practice. Cam Ward knew it. He knew how bad it was. And this guy has been with the team it is August now. He got drafted 4 months ago, less than 4 months ago, and he's already the leader of the team. Getting him together, man is going to be the franchise quarterback. He is the leader, and we haven't seen that with the Titans in a very, very long time. It wasn't completely bad for Cam Ward on the day. Throwing touchdowns, Chigakonkwo. Finally, Julius Chestnut shows up and bees that backup running back that you need with Tajay Spears going to be out a few weeks, because that's the one thing I'm looking for. Who's going to be that backup running back? Because we don't know. Is Tajay Spears going to be healthy with a sprained ankle? Not 100% sure. And then the defense also looking pretty well. Jeffrey Simmons was getting a sack. Arden Key was getting a sack. And James Williams was getting a sack. Jeffrey Simmons is the best player on this team. Arden Key, coming over here, he is going to be your starting edge because Femi Oladipo, it's a work in progress. And James Williams, you see why they cut Otis Reese earlier today because he is your starting linebacker. Things I just want to see for the Titans to get better, keep the intensity. Keep your foot on the gas pedal. Show that you have energy. Show that you're willing to fight for your team, fight for your teammates. Cam Ward, you can't be doing that bad play where you're trying to throw the ball away and you don't get it out. Worst comes to worst, just take the sack. A sack is a lot better than the turnover. The offensive line, it's got to be better. You have to not let Cam Ward get pressured. And the last one I want to see out of everything, I don't want 2 drives. I want a whole quarter. I want a half. Cam Ward is a rookie. He needs to get as many reps as he possibly can with the first team. They're NFL players. Play them the whole half. Please, this team has to get better because right now I see them as a 6-win team, 6-7. And if you get connection, if you get the chemistry, we could see maybe them overachieving, and that's what you want to see as the Titans. Now to end practice, Calvin Ridley said this walking off the field. We won today, and he was screaming at the reporters, y'all write that. I don't know if they've specifically won the practice. It was a way better practice than what we saw yesterday because yesterday was the worst of the offseason. It was terrible. There was no energy, and they completely flip-flopped that from yesterday to today. So overall, a good day for the Tennessee Titans. That's going to do it for the latest edition of Titans Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you hit that sub button. I'm on my way because I want you guys to join in. We're on our way to 12,000 subs. So hit that sub button, and as always, tighten up.